Hello everyone, it's Queen V and I'm back to you with another video. This video pertains to the unfortunate unaliving of 3-year-old Nola Dinkins. Before I begin, I would like to extend my support and condolences to the families and communities impacted by this unfortunate tragedy. According to reports, Darian Randall, the mother of Nola Dinkins, has been charged in the unfortunate unaliving of her 3-year-old child, according to authorities, charging documents obtained on June 12, 2025. Darian Randall called officers in Newcastle, Delaware, late Tuesday night, which is June 10th, 2025, to report the armed kidnapping of her daughter, Nola Dinkins, in Newark, Delaware, which prompted authorities to issue an Amber Alert. Newcastle police asked Maryland State Police to go to Randall's last known address as part of standard procedure in missing children investigation to ensure the child was not mistakenly left at home to corroborate Randall's report. Maryland State Police said troopers went to the house of Randall's boyfriend, Cedric Britton, in Northeast. Officers stated troopers met with Britton, who said the child was not home and that she left with her mother, Darian Randall. Troopers noticed several cameras outside the house and asked to see the video. The charging document stated that the video showed only the mother leaving the house and that the child, Nola Dinkins, was never observed on camera. Britton agreed when troopers asked to search the house for Nola. Once inside, troopers did not find her, but observed an odor of cleaning products, specifically bleach, the charging document stated. Britton ultimately agreed for authorities to search his car, inside which police stated troopers found a child's blanket with a reddish-brown smear consistent with blood. Britton stated the blanket didn't belong to him and that he received it from a stranger last summer while in a park. Authorities in Delaware investigating the kidnapping report interviewed the mother, Randall, who initially made a number of false and misleading statements, the charging document stated. After some time, the charging document stated Randall ultimately admitted that the alleged kidnapping report was not true. Instead, officers stated that Darian Randall told them that she struck the child, Nola Dinkins, at Cedric Britton's house in Northeast. Randall confessed to physically striking the child, Nola Dinkins, with a belt approximately 15 to 20 times about her body during the daytime hours on June 9th, 2025, the charging document stated. The charging documents go on to state that the child fell to the ground and wasn't moving and was unresponsive. The mother, Randall, told authorities she picked up Nola Dinkins up, realizing her daughter was no longer breathing, and called Cedric Britton the charging document stated. Randall would go on to state that she and Britton tried CPR but realized that Nola was unalive. At that point, the charging documents state Randall and Britton put the child, Nola Dinkins, in Britton's car and drove around for a while before returning home and putting the child in a suitcase. The charging documents state that Randall put the suitcase in the basement overnight before asking Britton to take it somewhere. Randall stated that Britton removed the suitcase containing Nola Dinkins and later sent her a picture of a park, the charging documents state. On June 11, 2025, Maryland State Police interviewed Britton, who made a map of where he believed Randall may have disposed Nola Dinkins. The charging documents state that investigators went to an area in Northeast where the remains were found in a suitcase. Britton's house backs up to the vacant lot where he is accused of dumping the 3-year-old Nola Dinkins' body. The remains were consistent with an abnormal thin or weak child and completely wrapped in saran wrap. Maryland State Police said identification of the remains is pending autopsy results by the medical examiner, who will also determine the cause and manner of unaliving. Maryland State Police on June 11, 2025, announced that Randall was taken into custody on charges of first and second degree homicide, first degree child abuse resulting in homicide of a minor under 13, and other charges. Randall will also remain in Delaware police custody, awaiting extradition to Maryland on a $1 million bond, with her preliminary court hearing scheduled for June 23, 2025, according to jail records. As for Britton, he has been charged as an accessory to first and second degree homicide and other charges. He had an initial appearance scheduled for June 12, 2025. Prosecutors also sought that Britton be held without bond, but the judge released Britton on a $75,000 bond and home detention. Additional details on what led to the homicide charges have not been revealed by officials. Now you will watch this brief news clip and I will be back with my commentary.
31-year-old Darian Randall remains behind bars here in Newcastle County, Delaware on $1 million cash bail, awaiting extradition back to Maryland, where police charged her with the murder of her 3-year-old daughter. Now, Cecil County officials say her boyfriend, charged with crimes related to the girl's death, was released today on $75,000 cash bond and home detention, despite the request he be held without bond. We want to warn you, some details of this case are disturbing.
How could you do that to your child? It's just, I could never.
Chloe Elborn says her community is haunted by what investigators say happened in this home on Elk Nest Drive, one of the first homes built in a newer cul-de-sac in Northeast Maryland. Court documents reveal 31-year-old Darian Randall admitted to beating her 3-year-old daughter Nola Dinkins to death with a belt at the home, owned by her boyfriend, 44-year-old Cedric Britton. After admitting her story, she originally told Newcastle County Police Tuesday night about her daughter being abducted on the side of the road in Delaware more than than 20 miles away from their home was not true.
It's just insane how close it was. And I've just been shaken up from it and sick.
Documents say after the alleged beating Monday, Britton tried to give Nola CPR, but she did not survive. Documents say Randall told police she put her daughter in a suitcase, which they took to the car, drove around with, and returned home. And eventually she asked Britton to relocate the suitcase. Documents say during an interview with police, Britton showed police a map of where he said Randall took Nola. And using that map, documents say police located the suitcase with remains inside on Dune Drive, a private road behind Britton's home. Neighbors say they never saw Nola or her mom and rarely saw Britton. Yesterday, they saw a truck remove cars from the home.
Well, it quickly escalated to something else because then a forensic unit showed up and more police showed up. Quite shocking. I mean, a 3-year-old, that's just absolutely terrible. And just hard to believe things like that happen, and let alone in your backyard, so to speak.
Court documents obtained by Fox 29 from Marion County, Indiana, show a custody battle between Randall and Nola's father dating back to June of 2023. Records filed in March of this year show that Randall pulled her motion to move to Maryland, and that Randall and Nola's father agreed to specific parenting arrangements in Indiana. Back in Maryland, neighbors tell Fox 29 Britton was at a homeowners association meeting Tuesday night when he got the first call from police.
He acted fine. He acted like a normal person would. But obviously had some stuff going on.
Maryland State Police say the chief medical examiner's office will identify the remains recovered and determine the cause and manner of death.
Condolences again to the Dinkins family and the communities impacted by this unfortunate tragedy of the loss of 3-year-old Nola Dinkins. The father of Nola Dinkins and the defendant, Darian Randall, had an agreement that Nola could move with her out of state. And instead, this monster, yes, this monster, not only betrayed her child, but her ex-partner. You guys entered an agreement and had an arrangement for this child. If you no longer wanted Nola, all you had to do was leave her with her father. That's it. I understand that there are adults who simply do not, I repeat, who do not want to be parents. So you go to the courts and turn over your rights. Simple. Again, being a parent is a 24/7 job. No days off, 365, 366 days in a leap year. You are responsible for this living human being and to ensure that they are safe. Instead, you took it upon yourself to harming this baby without remorse. And when this baby was no longer breathing, instead of calling for help, you and your partner, Cedric Britton, allegedly took it upon yourselves to driving around with this child. This child who needed you to give her help. And instead, you guys went back home, allegedly, put the baby in the basement, wrapped this baby in a wrap, and put her in a suitcase? You guys have lost your ever-loving mind. Cedric Britton is no saint. This man allegedly helped his partner put away this child in a suitcase and put her in a lot by herself. My God. This baby had so much to live for, so much to experience, so much to be. And yet, The two defendants in this case, Darren Randall and Cedric Britton, took it upon themselves to be the judge, jury, and ultimately executioner of this child. Another dream deferred, another life denied at the hands of a parent or partner who didn't see the value, who didn't see this human being as a living vessel who was indeed her own child. There are parents literally out here unaliving their kids because they no longer want to be a parent anymore. There are parents out here who are unaliving their kids to spite their ex-partners. This is a dangerous, dangerous person out here. And I have to disagree with the judge by giving Cedric that bond. Now, I understand they have to follow the rules and regulations of the law. But if the allegations are true that Britain did in fact put away this child in a lot after this child was brutally harmed, placed in a basement, put in a wrap and then a suitcase, then Mr. Britton has no business going back home. This baby had so much to live for. And yet the adults in the situation, who are the defendants, the mama and the boyfriend, took it upon themselves to denying this baby a fighting chance. When we hear of these unfortunate stories, we as society are losing out on our future accountants, our future lawyers, judges, POTUSes, filmmakers, CEOs, authors, entrepreneurs, teachers, activists, musicians, thespians. We are losing out on so much precious lives because we as a society, we as community members are not paying attention. As community members, it is our duty to look out for the future. Now, I understand why some persons are having the mindset of it's not my child, it's not my business, but it's up to us to get out of it. Because these babies are suffering and are paying the price with their lives because we are not paying attention. If we continue to denying these kids a fighting chance, we will continue to lose, not only as a community, but as a society moving forward. Our children deserve the very best. They deserve to live their best lives. And we must speak up when these unfortunate events occur. Silence is no longer an option. I will leave in the comments and description below for organizations and hotlines as it pertains to child services, in addition to missing persons organizations. And as always, be safe out here. Protect Black children, known and unknown. Say their names. Say her name, Nola Dinkins. Justice for Nola Dinkins. And I will see you in the next video.